Okay, I get it. I kept you waiting. Hello, and welcome to the Elise Edwards experience. There is nothing more Elise Edwards experience than being kept waiting, if I may say. Yes, hello, Chris Mack. Hello, everyone in the chat. Please let me know if you can hear me correctly or if it just sounds like a full ass train wreck on your end, on my end. Uh, just let me know if just let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, I can see Rhett. I can see the one and only Rhett Sever. Okay, good. Thank you, beloved chatter. Good to see you. Thanks, friends. I know. So, I wanted to just say that I was going to start at 9, but Ray, the one and only Ray DeVito, has me guesting on his show at 10. And I was like, no, I'm doing this fucking podcast today. I actually was going to do it with a other individual, not Rhett, but I'm very happy that Rhett is here to join me. The other person that was going to join me is on ice, just from my personal life and my professional life in general. So I'm glad that Rhett is gonna get on here and wax poetic about some of the shit going on in my life. And yes, si se puede. Woo! A couple of things. Oh, I guess I should probably put this little banner Madoo at the bottom of the screen. Yes, please make sure that you follow and subscribe. Please comment on the any of the videos that I leave up on YouTube instead of putting them behind my paywall on my I almost said OnlyFans. Freudian slip, maybe. No, my Patreon. Um, yeah, do all that kind of stuff. Please support the show and all that kind of things. I really, okay, so but the guest that I was going to have on, I will not mention them by name. Oh, also, happy birthday to my mom, Diane. Happy birthday. Pew, pew, pew. It's just her birthday. Bless her. She's great. And she's part of the reason why I'm the way that I am. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just is, you know. Um, but yeah, so my friend that was going to join me said something about Christina Applegate, which then got me which then, you know, that conversation was obviously spied on by my Fire Stick, you know, my Amazon Fire Stick. And so Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead was served to me. So then I got a chance to watch it for my first time in probably 2 decades, but it used to be one of my absolute favorite movies when I was growing up, and for reasons different than it is now. So I actually even have a clip to show you guys later. But first, we are going to bring in our guest, and this is, yes, the second installment of Tangent Horrors, which is what Rhett and I call ourselves when we just get in a tangent about something, which is like every tangent, every conversation that we have, even if we're just looking for like a one word question, it turns into like a 3 hour diatribe on, you know, Quentin Tarantino and Spielberg, and then, you know, Thoth philosophy and hermetics and stuff like that. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It gets weird. It gets spatial, and we don't even have to be on mushrooms for that to happen. So that's what's brilliant. We love it. Yep, tangent horrors. That's right. So bringing my fellow tangent horror on here right now, please welcome the one and only Rhett Sever. Rhett
Yo,
Sever.
what's up?
Fuck yeah.
Elise, finally. I know I thought I was gonna be late because I had to download Google Chrome to to do StreamYard, but that's cool. But I have a dilemma.
What?
You guys, I hate that I have to finger my butthole in order to clean it.
Oh my God. Wow. That.
Not.
Wow. Okay, so was that a plug for the music video that we did of yours during quarantine? What,
No, it
ode to the
can
whole?
be. Yeah, Ode to the Whole, my music video if you want to check it out. But no, that was just a plug for the new joke that I thought of recently. and I put it on TikTok.
Okay. Oh, is that what you sent me? I don't have TikTok on my phone. I don't even have TikTok. I
Yeah,
like kind of
nobody
made
does, it's crazy.
I kind of no, everyone has TikTok. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but
I have
everybody I sent it to doesn't. It's crazy.
yeah, because we're like, you know what? I do not want China spying on all
Wow.
my stuff. I already have all of America and all of the US and all of its affiliates.
Mhm.
Of which China really is one, let's be real. But they
Well, it
pretend like
made
it's
all the
not.
stuff behind me.
Exactly. So like just let's just share. Let's just get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Chris Chris Mack doesn't have TikTok. Yeah, I like started a TikTok because I was told it was like a thing in 2020, maybe. Yeah, I think it was like late 2020. Um, Maybe it was 2021. I don't know. I think it was like spring of 2021. And I just put one TikTok on there, and everyone that I want to watch on TikTok just shares their TikToks to Instagram. And I already
Mhm.
I don't I
Oh,
want
yeah.
to I want to deplatform myself. I want to like end all platforms. It's just like hashtag catch me outside, like literally outside in nature. Come and see me in real life.
Catch me outside.
Yeah, catch me outside. I really can't stand all of this shit. We're
Mhm.
also just one keystroke away or one, you know, poorly received take on something from being deplatformed and having your social security number, like shot across the
Actually
internet, like
actually,
made
do you know
public on
what?
Twitter.
I think it's a misnomer. I think when people are canceled, it's actually promotion. I mean, look at Shane Gillis. He was canceled. No, that created Shane Gillis. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
Shane Gillis is a vibe though. Shane is brilliant and so funny.
But I
I
still
like
think getting canceled is a promo tool. I really
it is
do.
a promo tool. I mean, like kind of like leaking your sex tape. Kim
Yeah, it's like people
Kardashian.
act like it's a scandal. It's like, no, it was promotional.
Yeah. But
Like,
at
I
a
think
certain point
people
it's
need to
not.
know.
I mean, I think like the censorship of, the things that some people say to get there's a lot of things that you can say to get canceled that you actually mean, or you can like say something for the purposes of getting canceled so it can just be free
Yeah, there's
publicity.
differences, yeah, but
Speaking of free publicity, it wasn't free publicity. I got paid to do a promo today.
mm,
I don't know if I didn't really sign an NDA, so I'm just going to say it. But I was definitely part of a ill-conceived flash mob that was like a publicity stunt for the new what's that fucking movie called? Um, Hunger Games, the new
oh,
Hunger
yeah.
Games. And
Oh, flash
I
mob.
did I didn't even think about it until I was in holding and some of these other participants are talking about it and they're like, "Yeah, I think we're not allowed to use the name or actually verbalize what it is that we're doing because that's part of the stipulation of the SAG strike."
Oh god.
I don't know that
Mm.
for sure. Do not quote me on that. Like I am a member of SAG, but I have no idea what's going on other than good. Let's be on strike. Otherwise, it will be like that Black Mirror episode. And also, I'm kind of enjoying the idea of these papal dispensations, otherwise known as interim SAG contracts for like the smaller movie producers, independent ones that are not part of the American Motion Picture Association, but that's for various reasons. One, because indie filmmakers have like been displaced by and large from the huge studios, and so that's part of the reason why you don't have any kind of interesting stuff, or you don't have like a whole lot of like uh there's not a lot of like nuance or like diversity and different. It's not the 90s. Okay, maybe it's just because I'm hyper nostalgic, and because I was, like I was just mainlining Gen X, you know programming, especially by way of motion pictures, um but also music and all that kind of stuff. um but yeah, the other reason is because in the new, whatever you call those, in these interim SAG contracts, that are giving
Yeah.
independent movie producers that are not part of the American Motion Picture Association a chance to actually make their film using SAG actors. Um, even if they go and they use a producer or a distribution or distributor that is part of the American Motion Picture Association and all this kind of stuff, those people, those distributors have to agree to the terms that SAG or SAG-AFTRA has been trying to get them to agree to ever since they fumbled the bag on making some, making sure that they paid some kind of back end or residuals on the streaming um, content for the
Oh,
actors.
so they're not scabs. They're, like,
No,
relenting to
yeah, well, I don't know. They're putting in there a stipulation that is forcing to the table one of the things that the American Motion Picture Association doesn't want to agree to. So this way, it's like, all right, well, when you don't have any new content coming out, but these independent filmmakers that do have new content coming out, but are going to need you for the distribution, but in order for you to distribute that content that you can make money distributing, you're still going to have to pay the back end for, the actors. But anyway,
oh,
I also think
well, it
it's
is
kind of like a
good.
weak way to claw back a bunch of like the market share that SAG AFTRA or SAG and AFTRA didn't do when, the whole streaming situation was on the rise. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. This isn't a picket
Yeah.
line. Okay. I'm not Fran Drescher. Also I'm like still like I have issues
Mhm.
the with the union over other stuff. I mean, I love the union. I love being a part of the union. I also think they dropped the bag or fumbled the bag on a number of things. So
Was
hold on. I just want to know what is
the
this from Brian Bulb? Did you have to hold swastika signs?
at a
No, we
protest?
didn't have to. Is that part of the Hunger Games franchise? I didn't. I have. I don't recall. I mean, I've only seen the first one. I'm just gonna be real with
Oh.
you. It is not a franchise that I have invested much of my time into. Although I love Woody Harrelson. May I say that? There's a lot of great performances in there. Um, I just don't care. Is really what it comes down to. You want to get Ray on here? I'm going to be on Ray's podcast in a few seconds. So, I was probably hired by the FBI. This is interesting. Um,
You can have
no,
Ray another time. Who needs Ray when you got gay?
yeah, Ray's going to be fine. Anyway, okay. And
I'm just kidding.
talking about the truth in storytelling that I really feel was very present in the 90s,
Mhm.
and then kind of fell apart not too long after. I'm going to say that after like around 2001 is when we started to see a lot more corporate interests, maybe, or the big money curating what kind of content actually was released and made it to market.
Maybe because they
I
were
don't
scared of the internet fracturing and being more of a level playing field,
I
and
don't know what it was.
they were trying to protect themselves from that maybe, I don't know, but
I think it was just, yeah, I mean, I think there was a huge consolidation of well, there's a larger consolidation of money and power and wealth and stories that were told and not told in 2008. But I think that was like a bookend on what took place in 2001. I think we talked about that a little bit earlier when obviously not online, but about the Matrix. I think like the Matrix came out and
mm,
fucking like blew people away and like really got. I don't think it. I don't think it really got people into like the multiverse and like thinking outside the binary, not
yeah,
just gender wise, but I'm talking about like of like the mind, like the actual
yeah,
Matrix keeps us in like a binary like thought, even though we have access to well beyond the binary. Um,
mhm,
yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly when the CIA put the foot on the gas. Yes, exactly. I mean, so anyway, so I really think that the
okay,
Matrix came out in 1999, right? And they were making it for almost 2 years before that. And 97 was a huge year in movies because, as you guys know, my favorite movie is Hackers. It's like one of like
Oh, I
top
thought that was
five.
95,
I think
1995.
I thought Hackers was 97.
Oh.
It might be no. I think Hackers is 95. I
Mhm.
mean, I think Hackers is 97, and
Well, I
then
mean,
I think Hackers is 97. It might be 95. Shit. Oh my god. Anyway, all I know is that The Net came out 2 years before that, and that has so much truth in there too. Go back and watch The Net, go back and watch
yeah.
Hackers. But because we have a consolidated show, we have to cut this one short. And well, not
Yeah, the
short.
net was
We're gonna have a full
95.
hour. Oh, Hackers was 95. Thank you, beloved
The
chatter.
net
Okay, so and The Net
is
was what,
also
93?
95, and
The
Hackers,
Net
they're
was
both
95
95.
too?
They're both 95.
Shut the front door.
Why?
Yes, Angelina Jolie does show her tits in that movie, as she does
Uh,
in Gia. Okay, we've seen her tits before, as she also does in Foxfire. Foxfire and Hackers are two of my favorite
Jenny
movies,
Lewis, ha
and yes, Jenny
Fire
Lewis is in there.
in
What's the
Fox,
name of
yeah,
Jenny Lewis's band again?
Rilo Kiley. Obsessed. Fucking cessed.
Wait,
Host of
what is
the
it again?
G, Rilo Kiley.
Rilo
They are the
Kiley.
oldest of the G. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're
Um,
not.
no, they're
But
not. But
apparently they're
for
great.
me, they are. For me, they are. Oh my god. I can't get enough of Rilo Kiley and Jenny Lewis. Every song she writes is a classic. Her worst song is somebody else's one hit wonder. It's insane.
She's just amazing. Have you ever
She's an
seen
artifact.
have you seen Foxfire? Have you ever seen
Yeah,
Foxfire? Okay. Well, we might need to
it's
recap that,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
maybe we can do it on
I
your
should
podcast.
rewatch it though if I'm gonna talk about it though.
We're gonna rewatch it together. We have a
Okay.
list of movies that we actually
Mhm.
we need to like put it down just like
Mhm.
like an actual production schedule because I mean,
Yeah.
remember when you finally got me to watch The Last
Mm.
Temptation of Christ? We
Yeah,
had
that
so
was an
much
amazing podcast.
Yeah, we had so much to say about it, and I had so much to say about it that you had to release the podcast in 3 pieces.
And
So
2, yeah, it was 2.
oh, I thought it was a 3. I thought it was a
Yeah,
three-parter.
like 5,000 people at least clicked on the first one, and then 500 people clicked on the second one.
Oh, wow, that's a
So,
lot. See, kids, okay, we could be having 500 clicks, so make sure you share this with your friends and comment. And yes, oh my gosh, is there a really good question from Brian Bulb? Bulb, am I saying that correctly?
oh
Anyway,
my
is
god.
there a character Willem Dafoe hasn't played?
Because, yeah,
Good
I
question.
you have to check out this movie, okay,
Foxfire is the shit. Foxfire is the best, and it's fucking
people
another great soundtrack too. Another great soundtrack. Such
you
a
know
great
what?
soundtrack.
I don't know where it is, but, what's it called? Fuck. I have to find it now.
Oh my gosh, do you have to find it? Okay. Well, while you
Yeah,
find
yeah, you go.
while you find what you were looking for, I do want to jump to the clip that literally
Yeah,
inspired
perfect.
me to do this entire broadcast essentially. And another reason why this is my whole thing. Go back and watch all the movies that resonated with you in any way, shape, or form
Yes.
from before as who was it? Was it Beloved Chatter who said the thing about the CIA? Oh yeah, it was Chris Mack. The one and only Chris Mack. Chris Mack is such a G. Okay. Chris Mack says, yes, the CIA put their foot on the gas after 9/11. So go back and watch all of your pre 9/11 films. I feel like the only people that are getting it in after thereafter are people that are like putting, a direct line into it, like Vice. What's the guy who does Vice and all of those films?
Adam McKay.
Yeah, Adam McKay. Adam
Yeah, he
McKay,
did
who's also
comedies and then was sick of comedies and wanted
right.
to be
Well,
more serious.
yeah, because like you need to like amp it up. I mean, his all of his dramas have plenty of comedy in it
Yeah,
because that's the
yeah.
only way to really like disarm people enough so that they can
It's a
actually
perfect
absorb.
yeah.
Yeah, you cannot, you can't berate people into paying attention into the stuff that's important, especially if the stuff that's important is stuff that they've already seen in like a journalistic, like hypnotist like spiral. You can't deliver it to them the same way. You need to like break the density of like perception or like perceived like perception and then like inject the truth. And you have to do it while you're in kind of like a prone state, which by the way, that's what comedy kind of does. You like after you've released the tension, you're chilled out, it's kind of like it's like asking, it's like, have you ever heard that, like, if you need something from me, ask me after I've orgasmed. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Okay. Yeah.
it's not just me, okay, but also great time to ask me for something that I'm probably going to say no to at any other time. But I like, there's some people that are way worse. Like, they're the only,
Because
that's the
you
only.
gotta love yourself before you can love somebody else.
Exactly. Okay. And that's also like after the tension has been like broken and released, now I'm like available for like other, other ideas. I'm impressionable essentially. But I know other people, especially dudes, honestly, it's really when to ask a dude for anything. That is if they're still
Because
awake.
they have
But
pent-up cum and a woman doesn't, it's that simple.
we have pent up come too. Let's be real. Okay. But we also have like a
But
cyclic
what's
something
more
that's always happening.
metaphorical than men, though? Let's be real. Men, it's literal. Women can control their sexuality more because it's not pent-up cum. Let's be real.
But that it is pent up come, but it's like, but
It's an
our
energy for women, right?
yeah,
It's
but
not
so like
literal.
like men's are more like, it's like the lymphatic system. There's not actually a pump there to like you have to actually like you have to manually maneuver it so that it actually the circulation happens, okay,
Yeah, I'm
as opposed to
familiar.
like the female is more like the circulatory system. It has a heart, that, so it's like it's constantly going. uh, but I wish
Dude,
there
that is
was,
a beautiful metaphor for how men and women actually work as well.
well, like
Like
literally.
personality-wise, like it's
Yeah,
amazing.
that we have a heart and you guys have a lymphatic system, and if you
Men are
guys don't come, it
mechanical
it
and
turns
women are content.
self-sustaining. We get it. We're great. Like,
Right.
that's square
Um,
one for us. No.
yeah, women are substantive and have content,
I just have
and
to
men
put
are
this
just
back up
the
here.
structure that you need to pump.
Yeah. Exactly. You need to pump. Like, you know what happens to your lymphatic system if you don't like mobilize and jump up and down and like get it
Yes,
flowing?
I was a 12-year-old boy once, yes.
No, I'm saying that you guys
I
become
hadn't
like
discovered
toxic.
masturbation yet, but I had to accidentally
You have to wait.
because I
Okay.
was
This
Mormon.
is
But anyway,
Oh my gosh, Neo's birthday in the Matrix is 9/11. Oh my god, I had no idea. Shut the
also
fuck
end of the
up.
hackers show
Magnetic
superpowers
Productions.
that read, crash, and burn. Oh, damn.
Also, and the Hacker Show too. Yeah, it does say crash and burn. It's true.
Weird.
Yeah,
Oh, because
because
that was right
that's
after the
that's their.
93 one. Remember the 93 attempt?
Yeah, but
With
I
Powers?
never thought of it that way. I
Well,
think
I
the
mean,
weirder.
who knows? But I
No,
mean,
but
it's an
crash and
idea.
burn is like the name of their things. But I mean, everything that they're doing in that movie is showing like, yeah. I mean, they put a really cool spin on what is generally a bunch of, over caffeinated, hyper, you know, I don't want to say incels, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm all about like what I'm saying is I don't know a lot of hackers that look like Angelina Jolie, okay, as Kate Murphy. Okay. No,
This
her
is
name is
interesting.
Kate Libby in the movie, and Dade Murphy.
This is
Anyway,
interesting because these are kind of like the rebels of like the technology computer age, these movies.
they are
Now,
that. And like it could have been so different. It really could have been so different. And there's a great interview with the director of that film, who had just before done a some kind of documentary on the Beatles and like someone else. Anyway, he had done it in this very like fast pace, like it was like very rock and roll and a little psychedelic. And it's kind of funny because I guess he thought, why would they ask me to do this film since right now I'm basically just known for a nonfiction movie, like that's the biggest thing and the most recent piece of,
Mhm.
work that I have under my belt. And it was because they thought it would, they thought it would be cool to, or he thought it would be cool. What he wanted to do with the movie is kind of show how rock and roll and rebellious these cyberpunk
Yeah.
rebels are. And
It's the same
he used,
energy, right.
yeah, and he used this like complete, rock and roll like visual and like the really awesome music and all this kind of stuff, even though he didn't realize how amazing the music was going to be or how influential. I mean, I'm still living that. Every time I pass St. Mark's, I'm like, I'm thinking that I'm going to see this, that Cyberdelia club. I don't. It's not there. Okay. I don't know of a single
Right,
establishment that you
'cause
can.
St. Mark's is like the rebel street.
Right, and that's, like, where the, outside, of the entrance to
That's where I sell my book.
Cyberdelia is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at the
Um,
Village Works, yeah. You can get my book at the Village Works on St. Mark's. Everyone is
yes,
free to masturbate.
yes, everyone is gay when you masturbate. You can put that in the things right here. Wait, what are
Oh,
we talking about? Okay, good call. Anyway, right. So,
yeah.
everyone go back and watch Hackers. Everything is in that movie. Absolutely. Go back and
And
watch The Net too,
yeah.
and do not give me that bullshit about, how they're like, oh, I don't want to go back and watch these movies because like they didn't age well in terms of the technology. I was like, dude, your
That's not
fucking
the
phone doesn't
point.
age well,
Yeah, that's
and
not
like
the point.
that has planned obsolescence. Oh, they want the link for your book. Your book is called,
Oh, okay.
what's their book called again? It's called Everybody's Gay When They Masturbate. Everyone is gay.
Yeah. I don't know why it can't just let me s
Whoa.
um, what do you call it? Chat. I guess I have
uh,
to.
in the live. Oh, you might have
Yeah.
to like sync it up to you or whatever. Well, I'll put the link to your book in
Oh, now I can.
when it's posted on Everyone is Gay When
Um,
They Masturbate.
yeah, the best is on eBay if you wanna
Yeah,
just.
it's on eBay. Check it out on eBay. Um yeah. Okay, so
So, yeah, I
oh
wanted
my
to just
gosh,
wrap
wait,
up
see, this
something
is
quick.
exactly Ingrid. Thank you so much. It says, I'll watch. Why do they say that about movies? Carlos Daner said that Doctor Strangelove was dated. Well, it both is and it isn't, but at the same time, it's like, for different reasons.
Well, the thing is everything's dated, that's not the point. The point is you have to everything's has to be dated because it's a documentation of the time we're going through, and so, um, you take that dated thing, and it's perfect that it's dated because then you can analyze the document better. It's like that's not an analysis or criticism of something that something that's dated, that's beside the point. That means you don't get it. First of all, let's be real. The point is that like Dr. Strangelove, that was humans waking up to the absurdity of war. Like this is a fucking joke, literally. That movie, Dr. Strangelove, was supposed to be a drama thriller. And Stanley Kubrick, as he's making it, he's like, this is fucking ridiculous. Because Stanley Kubrick's ahead of his time. He's like an alien. He was I mean, this is 1950s, 60s America when everybody's a fucking leave it to Beaver zombie. Stanley Kubrick was like, you people are crazy. This is a fucking joke. Like, we should be beyond war. Like, you're fucking like apes still. Like, anyway, the point is you have to think of things past. Oh, it's dated. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about like the net, especially when people say that, I thought it was really brilliant how the guy in the Hackers kind of did stuff to get beyond that because he didn't he used this kind of like psychedelic swirling, effects to kind of show the processing that's both going on in the human computer, like the brain, as
Mhm,
they're analyzing what they're seeing on the screen. So
mhm.
in that sense, it doesn't really age that much. But I mean, I guess they have a disc, like a floppy disk. At least it's like the little 3-inch one, or like the little hard ones, as opposed to
Actually,
like the big ass ones.
this is amazing. Okay, actually, okay, the Willem Dafoe thing, because he's connected to, like he's like
Everything.
a Kevin Bacon, like, yeah.
Yeah, the
And so,
six
okay, I
degrees.
was
Yeah.
thinking of his movie, The Loveless, that's what I was trying to find earlier. The
Oh.
Loveless, because that's, like, hackers OG, because, like, before the internet, there was, like, the greaser rebels, the motorcyclists in the '50s, right? Those were,
Hmm.
like, the OG hackers because they're like, "Fuck society, we're just gonna ride around in motorcycles and fuck shit up," right? Um, if they had computers, they'd be fucking up, they'd be hackers, whatever. My point is that it's an amazing movie with Willem Dafoe because you're right, he can do anything. But then the director of that, Catherine Bigelow, that was her first movie, who did, like, Zero Dark
Really?
30 and, um, The Hurt Locker and stuff, yeah, and Detroit is really good. So,
Wait, did she also
um
do Point Break?
yeah, yeah, Point
Oh
Break.
my god.
And
Yes,
so,
another 90s movie that I just watched, which I already talked about at length
yeah,
the last
Catherine
time I
Bigelow's
was on here.
amazing, but then at least you're forgetting her best movie in terms of what we're talking about, Strange Days, which was a great, sci-fi
Oh my
movie.
god. Yeah, and
That has
that's a
ideas,
sci-fi.
like, forget, like, how things date, like,
No, that's
that
a
movie is ahead
first
of its
off, I
time,
think
like,
I don't know if I've talked about it on here, but Right Here, Right Now has been my favorite Fatboy Slim song since I don't know how old I was when it came out, but before I even got the album, I was like, this song is the best thing ever. It's still one of my hype songs, but it wasn't until, I don't know,
just gotta move out.
maybe 15 years later, something like that,
Uh-huh,
13, 15 years later, that
mhm.
I was sitting in bed with a bum knee, and I passively heard what's her name? Angela Bassett's character in
Oh,
Strange
yeah.
Days go right here, right now. And that was the first time that I realized where that sample was, where the vocal sample from the Fatboy Slim song was from. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh, this
funny.
is genius. I was like, yes. And my sister's a huge
Everything's
Michael Wincott
connected,
fan.
like,
I know everything's connected as long, especially if it's like the love. All like the love follows love, and that's why you'll see
mhm, and
callbacks
true.
and allusions to that tie into things that like are really about it and that you're about, and that's why you should go back and take another look at all of these things and look at all this truth and storytelling that is like kind of not possible today, or you have to be super secretive about it, or you have to be, what is his name again, McKay, Kevin McKay,
Adam McKay.
Adam McKay. Why do I always want to call him something else? I don't know. Adam
Right,
McKay.
because he did Look Up, or Look, right, what's it
Yeah,
called? Look
look
Up?
up. Don't
Yeah,
look
Look Up.
up.
Don't
Don't
Look
look
Up,
up.
yeah,
And Vice, dude, Vice was the business, and so was
yeah.
The
I like
Big
anything
Short.
Amy Adams.
The
The
Big
Big
Short.
Short?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, The Big Short was so serious. Anyway, you know what?
Mhm,
Someone's gonna need to do something. I don't really know if this is true, but it's
mhm.
I was too young at the time to really consider it. And I was really hung up on the fact that when JFK Jr. died, my mom was so upset, especially because my brother kind of looks like JFK Jr., especially he did when he was younger. And so I never really considered the political ramifications of that. I just thought of it more in the vein of, oh, that's really tragic. He was like so young and
Wait,
promising,
what
and his,
was the political
fiance.
ramifications? He wasn't in
Well,
office.
I don't know this for sure, but he may. I was just told this today, and I have not
Oh.
fact checked this, but that he was in line to become the senator of New York.
Oh, okay. He was gonna run or something?
Yeah, he was like
Oh.
primed to do that. Guess who became senator of New York?
Rudy Giuliani. Oh, I don't know.
S-
I forgot.
It's a female known for the
Oh,
pantsuit
Hillary
nation.
Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the conspiracy theories that they kill people, or what?
Uh, yeah, I mean, well, like I said, this is not fact checked.
Well,
All
yeah,
I'm
you
saying
can't.
is, I wasn't considering the order of who would become what if whatever happened. I was just like whatever. Anyway, um, okay, I have got to get to the one thing, and sorry,
Yeah,
this is
the
this is this is what
babysitter
I'm. Yeah,
is
okay, so
dead.
this is part of me just watching this movie. And when I was younger, I mean, I already loved Married with Children, so I was like, oh my
Mhm.
god, Kelly Bundy in a movie, so excited. She looks so cool. She's amazing. And also I love Christina Applegate. She really is phenomenal, and I wish her the best. I hate to see her with like all these health issues and everything like that um in the current time, and also whatever. Anyway, something that I did not that I overlooked because I was young and I didn't know or care about making my own money at the time, because that's just where I was. I was just into the fashion, and also there's a deliciously young Josh Charles in this film, which I also completely forgot about. But this one little clip that's talking about what we already know in this day and age, kind of too much, how as the consolidation of power and ownership of things, like everything is just like owned by the same five people. uh those seeds had already been planted earlier on, at least in my programming, via Don't Tell Mom That Babysitter's Dead and other things, but I overlooked it until now. So I'm just going to, hopefully this will play for me. Don't at me if this looks ridiculous. Okay. Um, all right, how do I play this? I don't even know. Let's go.
Don't at mom.
Don't at mom. The babysitter said, "Oh no, I fucked it up." Okay, wait. I think I got it. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, maybe
Yes.
it's because I made noise. I'm sorry.
No, it's not because you made noise. Don't be silly. Okay, here we go.
No, sometimes it does that though, doesn't it?
All right,
Sorry.
here we go. I love this. I put the subtitles on because it sounds kind of trash. Oh no, it won't play. Why won't it play? I don't know. It's being a
Mm.
pendejo. Oh my god. Don't say you're not going to play for me now. What a piece of shit.
Oh,
Are you fucking serious?
so
Ugh,
you gotta
I'm so
explain it.
angry. Huh?
You gotta explain it.
I have to explain it. I don't want to explain it. I just want this effing thing to work. Why wouldn't you just work? What a fucking
Sometimes
trash
if you
fire.
drag the little cursor, it'll start. The second cursor.
Maybe it won't because it's like on whatever. I don't know.
It's a
Anyway, all right.
different
Well, that's a fucking
a different
bummer. That's a real
format.
kick in the.
I thought
I
you
thought I wrote.
tested it, Elise.
I did, but I didn't test it while I was on air. And so now it's all like being a piece of shit. All right,
Mm.
stop screen. All right. Well, in any case, so if you guys don't know the premise of the movie, Christina Applegate has to go get a job because she is somehow a destitute young teenager, which is also amazing. I feel like you didn't have a lot of like, well, I guess that's not true. I guess the whole premise of Valley Girl is also like the rich people versus the, not rich people, teenagers. Um, and I guess also you have a similar thing going on in, anyway, you get
I
what
mean,
I'm
there's just
saying.
class warfare everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, there's class. So anyway, so she fudges a resume so that she can get a job, and she tries to get a receptionist job, and instead she gets hired as like the executive assistant of this, fashion woman. And in this clip, she goes in there and she's talking about she's showing her what it is that their inventory is, and it's the industrial uniforms division of this fashion company. And Christina Applegate's character goes, "Oh, I thought we were in high fashion." And the woman's like, "Oh no, we're in the bowels of the fashion industry. Actually, blah blah blah
The
fashion
bowels, that's
is." Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, and she's like, is one of 32 branch companies, or like little companies owned by this huge chemical conglomerate.
Mhm.
And they're like, this is the biggest chemical, one of the top whatever chemical manufacturers in the world. And it was like, oh, that was in 91. I mean, I guess we also got a little bit of that in Pretty Woman. I mean, not only is she having to prostitute herself because we didn't have the greatest economy at the time, but Richard Gere's character in Pretty Woman is a destroyer of family businesses, and he chops up all the stuff and like repackages it and sells it.
Yeah.
So, and then he gets a lot of money. He gets more buying power to buy more stuff and do that too. So anyway, it's just not great. And I was not, I was really fixated on the sex in Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman's one of the few movies that I wasn't able to watch when I was younger. For some reason, my mom was afraid that if I saw prostitution or something like that, that I would like get. But I saw like Terminator 2 in movie
You see the
theaters.
great idea of the wonders of selling your body, which there should
Yeah,
be nothing wrong with, but
yeah,
there's
of
so
the
many
oldest
bullshit
profession.
put on it by society anyway.
Speaking of which, yeah, I will be make sure that you follow me on YouTube, because I will be putting up one of those one of those yes or no's, being like, should I start an OnlyFans? Yes or no. I'm
I've
gonna
done
I'm gonna
that on
I'm gonna I'm gonna
my Twitter,
I'm
and
gonna test the market.
people said I should, so maybe I
There you
should.
go. That's another thing. Okay, so this is another thing about what's that called? Shitting the bed. Oh, no, it's factual. Okay. Yes. Wait, your part. Why does it break your heart? Ingrid, Adam McKay breaks my heart. He was part of Succession. Yeah. I meant to also thank you for reminding us of that. Yes, Adam McKay is a sensational part of that, of the
Oh, that's
making of
great.
Succession. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely produced it. He's definitely a producer on it. And isn't Will Ferrell also? I believe Will
Yeah.
Ferrell is too, which is very cool. Which,
Hmm.
another movie that does not get enough, like people really need to like put some spec on its name, is Stranger Than Fiction. That
Yes.
movie, so
Dustin
fantastic.
Hoffman, Emma
Emma
Thompson,
Thompson.
and the director Mark Forster has done a lot of really good movies,
Mm.
like Finding Neverland and
Oh,
his early ones. Oh, he
I
did
never.
Monsters Ball.
Oh
Remember
wow,
Monsters Ball with
I do, with Halle
yeah,
Berry and Heath
and
Ledger.
Billy Bob Thornton, Heath Ledger. Yeah, it's
So-
crazy.
I don't think
And
people
okay,
took her as seriously. Since I think that was like, she really like came out in a different way. But Heath Ledger's always been phenomenal. The first time I ever saw Heath Ledger on film, I was just like, that guy is a beast. Like I was like, I want to act on with him. I was like, he's amazing.
because he's like a real artist with a real heart. Like,
I think, yeah, he has like a real vulnerability. And like, I mean, the first time I saw him was in 10 Things I Hate About You, which is a brilliant film and a brilliant
mhm.
take on, what's that called? Taming of the Shrew. And I'm a real I'm a Shakespeare. I literally learned how to read reading. It took me a long time to learn how to read, but the thing that finally got me to learn how to read was my sister teaching me out of Entertainment Weekly and Shakespeare, literally. And the Shakespeare was easy because then I could just memorize it and memorize what things look like on the
Mhm.
page. Anyway,
No, yeah. Well, what was
he
crazy? Sorry.
he
Oh,
was
what?
he was such like a bat he was like a badass. He was like the hard ass, right? But he had such a deep vulnerability that
Hmm.
you rooted for him even when the chick didn't, like he was great. I
What
liked
was?
his I liked
Yeah.
his whatever much better than I liked Richard Burton's, to be perfectly honest with you.
Tim Burton, yeah.
No,
Oh,
Richard Burton in the
I thought you meant
Taming the Shrew.
the Tim Burton's. Oh, Batman. That's hilarious. I thought you meant Tim Burton's Batman versus
No,
his.
I mean whatever. I can't. I never remember that guy's name. I mean the name of his character in Taming of
Oh,
the
10 Things
Shrew.
I Hate About You. Okay.
Yeah, is a
Yeah.
yeah is a. Anyway, I'll move away from the Shakespeare. It's fine.
No, yeah. What was crazy? See, because like Heath Ledger in like the 2000s when people were still homophobic, um, like he had to like defend like the Brokeback Mountain and be like why are people being ridiculous about being gay? Like, do you know what I mean? But like
Or about
back
cowboys
then it
being
was
gay.
brave for him, a straight actor, to like defend gay people was like brave, and it shouldn't be considered brave, but back then it was, and he was brave. Like it was crazy.
We just need to get over our whole puritanical bullshit. It is like really making
Yeah,
us I mean, we're already a total mess. What are
yeah.
we gonna like go back to having those contraptions that were basically like Iron Maidens for your dong, like back in the Victorian era? Like
But one
what
thing I realized with the universe is that it is good that we went through an oppression because oppression is the only thing that has made me interesting. Like, and so like I need you, like I needed my bullies and my oppression and my Mormonism to like it's the only shit that made me interesting, and to then break out of that oppression. The breaking out of the oppression is everything that fueled my creativity and meaning in life, and so it's really beautiful actually, but
Yeah, without
yeah.
pressure, coal or carbon doesn't turn to diamonds, you know what I'm saying? Which also reminds me of, I don't it was on Net Positive. Who does the Net Positive podcast? Does anyone know?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I forgot.
I just saw a clip of it because it had my new obsession, Matt Rife, on there. Okay, Matt Rife, who literally
Shout
looks
out to
like a
Ingrid, sorry.
sex doll. He literally looks like a sex doll. Like that's
Oh,
how like amazing looking he is. Like he almost looks like a female sex doll. Like that's like he's like pretty like that, but he's like a dude. He's like is definitely masculine. Anyway, long story short, I just saw, a small clip of him on Net Positive podcast that was like, if you get offended by a joke, you were never for real bullied, and therefore I can't really sympathize with
oh,
you. He's like, because
right.
if you haven't like overcome having your feelings like really hurt, like someone really fucking up your day or destroying your character or whatever it is, and you overcame that, so now you have like more perspective so that you can actually take a joke when someone's not actually trying to offend you. They're just making a joke about something. Then he's like, I don't like, then sucks to be you.
It's the psychology of being offended is very interesting because people who get offended, they're not actually offended. They are, they like the attention. And because when you think about it, when you're offended by somebody, you're actually in a weird way respecting the person who's offending you. Because if you didn't respect them and what they said, you wouldn't be offended. You would just ignore them.
Right.
So the fact that you're now uproarious, like what did you say, is they're actually admitting that, like for example, if somebody's really offended by a racist joke, what you really did is just make them feel bad for their little bit of racism that they're guilty about. And their uproariousness of being like, oh my God, you can't say a racist joke, really is them saying, oh my God, why did you remind me that I'm a little bit racist? That's really what's going on.
Yeah,
Because
or
being
that someone else can
offended
have an
makes
opinion
no
on
sense
racism.
otherwise. Sorry, what?
Yeah. Or that someone else can have an opinion on racism or talk about it and
Yeah,
not the exact way that
yeah.
they have carefully curated in their mind as the only way, or from the only person that can speak about it. It's like,
It's a very
uh,
interesting psychology and it doesn't make any sense, but when you analyze it, it makes perfect sense. So yeah.
yeah. I also feel like when people get together and eat mushrooms together, I think it also helps a lot with like
Mhm.
increasing one's bandwidth and empathy.
Yeah.
Get- Getting on the same page, the same, whatever. I did want to just jump back to here. So thank you so much. Oh, wow. Um Yeah, so Chris Mack, thank you for confirming. Oh my gosh, yes, Juliette Lewis was in Strange Days too. I love Juliette Lewis. Okay,
Yes.
this
I
is
met her,
probably gonna
yeah.
offend some people. You did? I fucking love Juliette
Yeah,
Lewis.
she signed like a it was at this movie in 2010, I forgot, but um it was Angelica Theater Q&A, and we couldn't find a pen, and she signed my like um pamphlet that you get, my program, with
Playbill,
lipstick.
yeah, Playbill, yeah.
Yeah, she signed it with lipstick. So it's cool. I still have it. Yeah.
Amazing. I know that like when I was younger, I guess I was, I, I want to say that I was still in elementary school. I think I was in fifth grade, but I may have been in sixth grade. And it was right around the time when they started having a show called When I Was 17 on VH1, which was like, it was
Mhm.
like a I love the 90s or I love the 80s, but it was asking people, it was like pre guy code and pre girl code, but after they had started this I love the 80s or I love the
Yeah,
90s,
yeah.
franchise.
Nostalgia for the
Yeah,
older people.
they had I remember being in school and someone told me that I reminded them of Juliette Lewis. And the first
Oh,
thing that came
yeah.
and the first thing that came to my mind was The Other Sister, where she plays a Down syndrome woman who is the love interest of Giovanni Ribisi, who also has Down syndrome. And so I was like, "You think I have Down syndrome?" was like, I was like, when someone said, when my, like a whole, one person at the lunch table was like, "You really remind me of Juliette Lewis." And I was like, so taken aback. I was like, wow, you think I look like someone that could definitely play a Down syndrome person without any kind of like training or prosthetics or anything like that? I'm offended. But then, like 2 weeks later, I saw her on When I Was 17, and she was the most real ass chick ever. And she was like, "Yo, I kind of went to like school in the hood, but I was like that one white girl that were like, you funny girl, you whatever." And she was like, "I was just like break dancing and doing whatever." And I was just like, shit, let's get like real. And I was like, "Oh, I get it. Like, she really is like a dynamo, and she's super dynamic, and she's just fucking cool as shit." And then I read all this stuff about how I know her dad was like a movie or a television director or something like that. So that's how she started acting. But she was like, she got pulled over. There's like a story about her getting pulled over when she was 21, and she didn't have a license, and it never occurred to her because it was her first time getting pulled over, and she'd been driving without a license since she was 15. She was like driving herself. I was like, damn, I wish I had that kind of self authority to be as rebellious as I felt in my heart. But instead,
Mhm.
I like had little undermining ways of being rebellious. Sometimes I still don't think that I act very rebellious or that I'm whatever. My friend was like, "Elise, you're like basically an anarchist." Like, I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "I'm always the
Well,
one that's like,
maybe by your standards, you do wanna be more of a rebel, like.
I want to be less of one." But
Oh,
apparently, the way that I think, which I think is very individual, I very much honor the individual, the right to be the individual. The individual at the same
yeah,
time has to understand that we live in a human collective, a common unity, otherwise known as community. And that means, and community, when it functions in its best form, leaves space for every individual to be an individual while still holding each individual accountable for like being a good functioning part of the community to support the community and its overall health and existence. Um, and when people don't like account for either that both and that balance, like when people are just like, okay, the only way that we can live in a community and get along is for you to not be yourself. I need you to look a
yeah.
different way, I need you to be a different sexuality, I need you to like this kind of stuff, I need you to vote for that person. I'm like, no, that's like dumbing things down. That's like taking a
Well,
world that's in color and like making it black and white, or all gray, you know?
those people that want conformity, what they're really asking for is, I want you to validate my chosen survival technique. That's really what they're
That
doing.
is such a good point. That is such a good
Yeah.
point.
That's what I
Oh my God.
realized, like, just overthinking on psychedelics is that
Overthinking or doing the
or
Lord's work.
just the right amount, yeah. No, I
Yeah.
realized that you don't actually care what other people think. You care that what they might think is gonna validate what you already think about yourself. That's what people care. You don't care about what people think. You are afraid it's gonna be that your self-hate is gonna be validated. That's what
Yeah.
people are afraid of. And they just
Yeah, and
they
also
don't know how to
yeah.
inward look and really get to that. Like, they don't care what people think. You care what you think. You just don't wanna admit it because people can't look inward because they think that, "Oh, if I blame myself, I might not be surviving and then I might die." Like, it all comes down to that, survival. So that they
Yeah.
gaslight everything. That's what we do as humans. We gaslight everything so we don't have to take responsibility for our shit.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Instead of like and instead of like when you see someone doing something differently that you really wish you could do, instead of
Yeah.
getting defensive and cutting them down, instead you could be like, "Yo, thank you for giving me the self permission I needed to do the same thing, you know, or to do something similar," which
Yeah,
is
and
literally
strong
how I
people
felt.
do that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I think I turned into that person uh not too long ago, but like at least like a decade ago. Um but I like even my stupid, like my idiotic example of that recently is that I was at a place where I fortunately had the opportunity to DJ, and the person that DJ'd after me, who was like closing out like the show, was actually Finn Jones, the actor, also a DJ. And for this particular set, he sat down because it was like a lovely, it was like outdoor like situation, and it was like golden hour, you know, and like he was like shoes off and like in there. He also had DJ'd for like 6 7 hours straight the night before, which by the way really kills your back. I don't know the his why. All I know is that I have often thought about how much I would love to sit down and DJ at certain times. Like I would be like this, but it's somehow inappropriate. Like I'm somehow breaking the conventions of DJing by sitting down, and instead he just like pulled up a stool and like got comfortable and was really like in there. And I just wanted to be like, oh my God, Finn, thank you so much
That's
for
hilarious. I think I know what
giving
that's
me the
about.
permission to do that.
I think
Why?
DJs might feel that people it's kinda like stand up, like, "Oh, anybody can do it." So, like, DJs feel guilty, like, "Oh, people don't think I'm really doing anything, I'm just pressing play. So I might as well stand up so I actually seem like I'm doing something." Do you think that's it? Like
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there is a lot of that, especially. I mean, it would be impossible to sit and DJ records. You know, if you're DJing all vinyl, there's no way you're sitting down. Like it's too much. Okay, even if like you had somebody, even if you had somebody like re put sleeving your records for you, there it's too involved. Okay, but like yeah, once it's digital, maybe it is that we're kind of like, oh my God, they're gonna know that I just came with 200 gigabytes of I came with, this is a Seth Troxler quote, but I came with a folder full of disco. Like that should work, right? And maybe if everyone found out that that was like all we had, like we feel like we have to do more or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
what does anal eyes it? Oh my gosh, I was just thinking, when I had the fallout with my friend, I was like, this bitch puts the anal in analyze, because it's her Virgo moon. I think that was really chapping my ass. Anyway, she's another example of I gave a criticism that was like, I don't mean this to be a criticism. I mean this to be giving you a mirror, being a mirror for you to be able to see what you're doing. And if that's what you intend to do and you want to continue, I'll go for it. But I want to give you the opportunity to check your reflection and make sure you know that you have fucking toilet paper on your shoe, or that you are, that like you are like looking or acting, like a hot ass mess. And I didn't even say anything about it. I just did that. And then she was like, I don't want to, she was like, you need to focus on yourself, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So, and I need you to be a clear and honest mirror for me to be able to self correct when I need to, so that what I'm doing or what I think I'm doing is actually what I'm doing. But I don't think we can do that because you're not ready for like that level of honesty. So I'm going to need to go and you can find someone else to talk about your hinge dating life like with. So, it's not that like I have a problem with hinge, even though I do call it cringe and I'm definitely not on it. It's just that like I have other things to think about and talk about.
Well, a potential love life shouldn't rely on a hinge, first of all.
Cringe.
Like the it's kind of like the power of language. Like the problem with Hollywood is its union is called SAG. So everybody keeps saying SAG. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen? It's gonna
It's gonna sag.
SAG.
It's gonna sag. I love you saying it
It's
with
the
like
power of language.
your flat A's, your flat don't come out very
From
often because
Minnesota, yeah.
I know it's so great and I forget it because I don't usually hear it, but when I
Yeah.
do, it just drives me
Leg,
wild.
tag, bag, sag.
Oh my God,
Sag.
that's so great. Okay, so
Sag.
I think I do want to say I have anal eyes for you. I don't know what that means, but
It's
I'm
a pun on analyze.
yeah, I get it.
Oh,
But
then what are you
I'm
talking about?
also anal eyes sounds like I got anal eyes instead of angel
Is
eyes,
that guy
but
from your other podcast, Detroit Parking Authority?
I have no idea, but that is a great name. And if you're actually from Detroit, hashtag 313, I love this. I want to know more about this Detroit Parking Authority. Okay, people. Oh, and one last thing, because I guess Ray sent me a text message to join his podcast. Oh, he said he's
Oh,
going live.
cool.
Um, oh wait. Oh my God. Hold on, wait. I gotta make sure.
So I'll just talk to the comments section for a little bit.
Yes, please
Um,
do.
so there's no dead air. No.
Yeah, so there's no dead air.
So yeah, my stance on bestiality is that get consent from the animal first.
Wait,
If you
where's
can
this
get
comment?
consent, it's Benji Bungie.
Okay.
If you can get consent from the animal, definitely fuck them if they want to get fucked. Um, I guess I'll be on the rock bottom with Ray DeVito after this, because he says I'm a really cool gay guy to follow them on rock bottom.
Oh, that's the name of Ray's podcast. Yeah, I'd love to have him. I'd love to. Will you be our third? Will you be our third? I'm inviting you to Ray's podcast. He probably already has asked, he's probably already sent a link to like 5 other people. Half of them
Okay.
have probably Carlos dangered him and told him to fucking grow the fuck up and not invite them like 18 seconds before he goes on air. But like shit happens. I don't know what's actually happening.
Yeah, I could crash at Elise and then like blow it up to like make him go viral for like having his podcast crashed. You know what I mean? Oh
Um,
yeah, have his toxic straight podcast crashed by a gay guy.
Who said that? Is that really
me,
what's happening?
me.
Oh my God, wouldn't this be a throuple with Ray? Can't wait. Oh my God, beloved chatter. Wouldn't that be so fun? I am so into it. Oh my God, Rhett, strap in. You're in for a wild
Oh,
ride.
I
I
am a
think
pitcher. I'm a top.
I think that you would be so, yeah, get ready for the worst listener of all time. But it would be so great. I would have more entertainment personally. But also, I feel like I haven't talked or seen Ray in a while. So you might have more to say. But what if I just do that? What is there like what if I just like stealth invited? Like, I'm going to go, he usually sends me the link over Twitter, and then I will send him a link. I will send you the link and then just let him know that I invited him on your podcast because You're a great hang. And I need some
Um,
stimulation.
so um, I'll like get the link where
I'm gonna send you the link.
on my email.
Yeah, let me see if I
Okay,
can do this here. Are you still seeing me right now, or did I lose a
I hear you.
visual?
Yeah.
You
No, I see you. Yeah.
okay, okay. I was just
And
making
also, I
sure
want to
because
thank Ingrid for being a fan. She is really cool because she likes me.
yeah, and make sure that you follow whoa. Make sure that you follow Rhett Sever on Twitter also. And then also what is the name of your oh, I'm not gonna you're like
Which one?
shh.
No, I
I don't
was
know.
coughing.
You're
Sorry.
like you're like shh.
No,
And I
I
was
was
like, okay.
coughing. No, no,
I was like, should I not be saying the
no,
name of your
no.
okay. I was
That's
like,
not
I
what I
don't know.
meant.
I don't know what's going on in this world.
No, it's
When
just
you
the
told
Rhett
me
Sever podcast
when
on
you
YouTube.
it's
But
a Rhett
actually,
Sever
maybe I should
podcast.
say no because then people will want it more.
No, well, I also there's that something grape that maybe I'm not
Well,
supposed to
yeah,
dox.
Maxwell Spencer Grape is my channel, but
Yeah.
or just like the name on my screen, Rhett Sever on everything, on all social media. But yeah, the Rhett Sever podcast on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah, Rhett Sever podcast on YouTube
and all
and
my
his
short
so
films and music
if you
videos.
see Maxwell, what is it called? Maxwell
Maxwell
Spencer
Spencer
Grape.
Grape.
Yeah, great. And well, someone go, yeah, Detroit Parking Authority. If you can also let me know where the F bomb. Ray did not send me a link, so unless it just didn't show up in my messages
Maybe are you too late?
or my Twitter's not showing up. I don't know. Anyway, I will see Maxwell Spencer Grape on YouTube. You guys have been awesome. And there really is something that I really want to bring up that
Mm,
Ray will at least know of.
okay.
I love this beloved chatter and that I left this up here. A thruple with Ray. Can't wait. You guys have been awesome. Yes, I will see you guys all over there. And hopefully we'll also have Rhett Sever jump on so that I can bring up something that I wanted to say. And then, we'll do that. Anyway, you guys have been fantastic. Oh, thank you so much, Franklin Scheckler. And I will see y'all soon. And thank you so
Elise
much for
is a
joining me,
good
Rhett.
egg.
I'm
And
hoping that I get to see you on Ray's podcast too. And if I don't, I love you so much, and I will catch up with you soon.
okay, thank you. Love you,
All
Elise.
right, thanks. This has been the Elise Edwards Experience.
Mhm.
Sometime we'll have some really cool outro music. Today we don't. Anyway, much love from the Tangent Horrors. Peace.